CrossFit Open 19.5 is here, and I hope you're ready to do a lot of chest to bar pull-ups and thrusters, because that's all we're doing for some people, 20 minutes. Let's get into the workout. Here is the workout. Make sure to games.crossfit.com to read the full standards. This video is all about helping you get your best score possible, no matter where you fall on the spectrum of super duper RX athlete, all the way down to the scaled masters division. We're gonna talk about a couple coaching points for each one, but I just want you to know that pretty much all of the suggestions in this workout will apply across the board. We will talk a little bit about performance, but before we dig into anything, I just want you to know that these opinions are WODpreps and not CrossFit HQs, but I do want you to know that this week I'm partnering with the Socks Box to release the most incredible pair of socks that have ever been released. I've worn these for 6 straight months without washing them, and look how awesome they are. I'm kidding. But if you want to wear the only WODprep socks in existence, I'm the only one that has a pair. We're giving away 10 free pairs, and they're guaranteed to help you jump higher, snatch 300 pounds, clean and jerk over 400, do 1,000 double unders unbroken. These are all confirmed things. And if you want to win them, you have to follow a couple steps. I'll talk to you about what they are at the end, but if you want to unlock your performance, you're really gonna want these WODprep socks. All right, let's get into the dirty details. So the key is you have to control yourself in the beginning of this workout and then finish strong. If you watched any of the live announcements, Matt Frazier was an absolute tactician. He stayed calm and controlled in the beginning, stayed calm and controlled throughout, and finished calm and controlled and absolutely dominated everyone. And I have a feeling not many people are gonna beat that score. That's because he had a plan, he stuck with it, and he literally stayed consistent through every single rep, and that's what I'm gonna teach you today. To get started, it's time to talk about the thrusters. For the thrusters, it is incredibly important to throttle your energy in the beginning. You need to hold yourself back. If you watch any of the announcements, you saw a lot of people get burned out very, very quickly because they were like, oh, 33 thrusters unbroken, that's a great idea. And then they just got absolutely destroyed. So the key here is to identify a rep scheme ahead of time. This applies actually for the pull-ups too, but for the thrusters specifically, I want you to come up with a game plan before the workout. If you're someone who's never done Fran and the 95-pound or 65-pound thrusters are heavy for you, then maybe doing sets of 3 on the thrusters is a good idea. Maybe doing it in sets of like 6 or 7 is a good idea. I don't know what your capacity is, but for me personally, I can do Fran unbroken. I have a sub 230 Fran, and I am breaking up these thrusters from the get-go very quickly. I'm probably gonna aim to break up each set into 3. So for the set of 33, I'm gonna do a tip called descending sets and accumulate 33 reps. So here's an example of descending sets for the set of 33. And then here's an example of descending sets for the set of 27. Here's an example of the same thing for the set of 21. Regardless of whether you decide to do 2 sets per set, or 3, or 4, or break it up 5 times, the key is having that strategy going into it and making sure that you stick with it. So for me personally, I'm probably going to open up with a bigger set, then make it slightly smaller, and then end on the smallest set, and then transition to the pull-ups. It's really important, again, have these mapped out. Write them down on a sheet of paper, have your judge or a friend shout out how many reps you're supposed to do. Tone everything out. Only focus on how many reps am I supposed to do when I pick up that bar. Do them, put the bar down, take a couple deep, controlled breaths, and get back on the bar. When it comes to the actual thrusters, there's a few really key points that I've talked about in other videos, and I'm gonna talk about them again today. Do not hyperventilate. If you pick up the bar and do the world's fastest thrusters, congratulations. You've just ruined your workout. Don't go really fast on the thrusters. Allow yourself to be controlled. Allow yourself to breathe, especially breathe at the top of the rep. When you actually start getting oxygen in and sending carbon dioxide out of your body through breathing, you're gonna burn a lot less compared to the people who tend to pick up the bar and just hold their breath throughout big sets of thrusters. When you're doing a thruster, you're under load quite a bit. So it's really important to focus on your breathing and make sure that you develop a good rhythm and a good cadence. Personally, again, I'm gonna make sure that I at least breathe out and in at the top or as I'm pressing the bar overhead. And then oftentimes I will do a little bit of breathing as I'm going into the squat, but you have to test it for yourself. I can't tell you what to do. You literally need to pick up the bar and start practicing. But the moral of the story here is just make sure you remember to breathe and make sure you stick with your sets. Another suggestion I'll give for the thrusters is to wear weightlifting shoes, especially if you're someone who feels a little instability when you're squatting. Maybe you have trouble getting depth. Wearing some Olympic lifting shoes will help you reach that depth easier, and you're gonna feel a lot more control and stability on the thrusters. Don't worry about taking them off for your pull-ups or like trying to do some crazy transition. That's just silly. It's not worth your time. Just wear them for the thrusters and you're going to be okay on the chest to bar pull-ups. Next, it's time to talk about the pull-ups. We're gonna talk about chest to bar, but unless you're doing the scale division that has jumping pull-ups, everything applies here. So the master's division, when you're doing chin over bar pull-ups, everything applies here. If you are, let's talk really quickly about those who are doing jumping pull-ups. Couple key points for the jumping pull-ups. Use your legs and don't overdo it. So it's only chin over bar. It's not a jumping chest to bar from what I understand based on the standards I looked at. It's chin over bar. So don't jump your chin way over the bar. That's wasted energy, it's wasted time. Literally just get your chin above the bar, follow the standards, focus on springing off of your legs and use those calf muscles. They're not gonna be used that much during this workout, so really, really use them for these jumping pull-ups, and you should be able to fly through the jumping pull-ups quite quickly, and you don't have to do the reps and the sets that I'm suggesting for all those who are gonna be doing chest to bar or chin over bar pull-ups. All right, now, if you're doing this workout RX'd and you are learning how to do chest to bar, we're gonna break it up into a couple different levels. Number one, if you are someone who's just now learning how to do pull-ups, maybe the last workout was the first time you actually got your chin above the bar. The goal here is just to get some reps. We want you to get chest to bar reps, and you guessed it, what I'm gonna recommend is the box drop-in technique. It's a controversial technique. I had so many people reaching out saying, I don't know if that's legal. Listen, if you're trying to get your first chest to bar pull-up, it is legal by the standards of the rule book. You can jump off of any object you want. I just happen to suggest 2 boxes. Jump off the box, allow that momentum to carry you through your kip extension, and then get a nice strong kip and get that chest to the bar. Just that little extra momentum. It's as if you were just jumping really aggressively into the bar. It just helps you do that jump easier. That extra momentum is gonna help you get your chest to the bar. And my goal for you, especially if you're just now trying to get your first chest to bar pull-ups, my goal for you is to hit singles, stay consistent, and find a good rhythm to just keep chunking away at those reps. You're gonna spend a lot of time on the pull-ups, and that's okay, totally fine. Just keep chunking away, keep knocking them out one by one, and really focus on getting a lot of momentum from the box drop-in technique. Now, if you're an athlete who can do multiple chest to bar pull-ups unbroken, maybe you're in the smaller rep ranges, like you can do a few chest to bar, whether that's kipping or butterfly, unbroken on a good day. I am highly suggesting the same strategy, singles. And if you want an extra advantage, if you want a little bit more momentum, do box drop-in singles, or you can do singles from a low bar. So the bottom line is if you're doing singles, there shouldn't be a crazy amount of cycle time in between each rep, especially since you know you can do chest to bar, so you need to keep moving, but just do singles. Knock out a rep, and then as soon as that chest hits the bar, release. You don't want to waste time lowering yourself back down. That's why I suggest singles. There were actually people at regionals several years ago where there were 100 chest to bar pull-ups programmed in a workout. There were individuals at regionals that did very well in the workout doing singles for all 100 reps. So I know you think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, singles for the chest to bar pull-ups is an excellent approach, especially if you're not easily hitting sets of 15 to 20 unbroken chest to bar pull-ups. Okay, so if that's your threshold, 10 or less, then singles without question is the right way to go here. The next level. So if you're someone who can crush chest to bar pull-ups, maybe you can do sets of 20 plus unbroken, no problem. I'm gonna suggest small sets, whether that's sets of 3s or sets of 5s. Obviously sets of 5s doesn't fit perfectly into the rep scheme, but I think you'll figure it out. Sets of 3 does in fact fit into the rep scheme quite well. Just do small sets. There's no use hitting a big hero, 15 reps unbroken, and then having to drop to, singles and doubles at the end. You need to focus on hitting sets that you can sustain and sustain for a very long time. There's over 100 chest to bar in this workout, so doing really well on the first 33 has absolutely no bearing on the course of the rest of the workout. I promise you, take your sets small. Again, I'm suggesting sets of 3. Personally, the most reps I'm going to do unbroken in this workout is going to be sets of 5. I know that when I first hop on that bar, I'm going to want to knock out a set of 15, but I'm not going to. Sets of 5 is my hard limit. When you do a set, you need to finish that last rep, drop without controlling yourself down to the bottom, so you want to save your arms, drop down to the bottom, shake it out, take a couple breaths, and then knock out another small set. If you knock out small sets quickly, you will get so much deeper and so much quicker finished with this workout than those who do big sets and then just sit there with their hands on their knees, walking around, trying to rest up for another big set. It doesn't make sense. Don't fall into that trap. Again, remember, you have a double Fran. So if going unbroken on Fran is difficult for you, then you cannot expect to do big sets in double chest to bar Fran. And again, I know this is crazy, but we're talking high performance athletes here. Still, defaulting to single reps is something you shouldn't be afraid of. If you get to the end of this workout and you're starting to take really longer breaks just to build up the forearm strength to grab on and do a set of 3 or 4, then do singles. Just do quick singles and make sure that you have a short enough bar so that cycling single reps is quick and efficient. I actually was able to finish that bar muscle up workout from 19.4, and I went to singles during the workout. I did an entire set, 10 bar muscle ups with singles, and still finished the workout under the 12-minute time cap with a pretty solid time. The power of singles is mind-blowing. They're not sexy, but again, if you're willing to default to them on the chest to bar pull-ups a little bit earlier than you might be comfortable with, a little bit earlier than your ego wants you to, you're gonna have a lot more energy for the thrusters, and if you can hit those nice, steady sets, and again, bigger sets of thrusters are gonna allow you to chip away at this workout. The more times you have to drop the barbell, that's gonna waste a lot of time. But for the pull-ups, you're really not wasting too much time, even if you drop after each rep. So again, to wrap this up and make sure that you have your goals in place, be sure to plan your thruster reps in advance. Do not deviate, do your best to stick to your plan. Make sure it includes breaking up into several sets. Number 2, for the RX divisions that have to do pull-ups, be sure to break your sets up early and don't be afraid to go with singles or small sets of 3. That's totally fine. If you are in the scale division doing jumping pull-ups, hold on to the bar for dear life and get them done. Remember, it's just chin over the bar. So with those things in mind, I hope that you have a plan to crush this workout. So let's get out there and crush it. But wait, don't go anywhere. Do you remember these incredible magic WODprep socks that I was mentioning earlier? If you want to be one of 10 people on planet Earth, actually one of 10 people in the entire galaxy that have WODprep socks that, again, they help you increase your 1RM so that you're essentially a world record holder, weightlifter. If you want all that, here's what you have to do. Number 1, you need to hit the subscribe button. We're giving away a ton of crazy, awesome stuff, including a level 1 cert once we get 100,000 subscribers. Number 2, you need to make sure that you share one of our 19.5 related posts onto a social medias. So you can share this video and make sure you tag WODprep. You could share or repost one of our Instagram 19.5 posts and just tag WODprep. Or you can share one of our Facebook posts and tag WODprep. We are going to be scouring the web to make sure whoever we select, the 10 athletes we select, also made sure to share one of our posts. So again, you gotta tag us to make sure we can see it. And then number 3, you need to be subscribed to the WODprep email list. If you are subscribed to the email list, guess what? You are getting the ultimate 19.5 warm-up, cool-down, and mobility flow to make sure that you maximize your score on this workout. If you're signed up, I'm also gonna send you a completely free strategy guide. And if you're signed up, you also are gonna be able to win one of these 10 magical sock pairs. I hope that you've enjoyed the Open. I hope you've enjoyed the free content that we brought you over the past 5 weeks. From the bottom of my heart, I love all of the support and all of the comments that have been pouring in, all of the bar muscle up PRs, all of the pull-ups, all the double unders. I love it, and I just want to thank you for participating and being with us through this Open season. Over the next couple weeks, WODprep is going to be releasing some incredible stuff, and we're gonna help the serious athletes who really want to make a crazy transformation between now and the next Open, which is happening in October. If you wanna make a true transformation and break through all these plateaus and all these performance hurdles that are kind of holding you back this year, if you want to break through those for next year, we have a program that's going to be releasing that you're gonna wanna be on our email list for. So again, magic socks are waiting for you, and I'll see you next week in our next video. Peace.